Our next videos will be about mysteries of life, death, and soul, and transmigration, and many other interesting issues like that. Long after 3031 BC, Dwarka deluge and submersion in sea water, we come across evidence of Sri Krishna living as Jagannath of Puri in 12th century AD. Even though much before Dwarka deluge and Sri Krishna's disappearance, as mentioned in Mahabharata, Rishi Markandeya had narrated to Arjuna and his brothers during their exile time from Indraprastha the story of one king Indradyumna of Malwa kingdom with capital at Ujjain. King Indradyumna of Malwa kingdom with capital at Ujjain had constructed the original temple at Puri Jagannath for Lord Vishnu, seen in the form of a blue whale worshipped by the local tribes of Kalinga kingdom. The Skanda Purana and Brahma Purana, which were written by Vedavyas to attribute the creation of the Jagannath Puri temple during the reign of Indradyumna, a pious king and an ascetic who ruled from Ujjain, and Vishnu as Yajna Nrsimha was installed as chief deity much before Sri Krishna's birth. According to the second legend, when Lord Sri Krishna ended the purpose of his avatar with the illusionary death by Zara and his mortal remains of his whole body, maybe the surgically removed portion from his wounded and infected left foot, were left to decay at Dehotsarg on the bank of river Hiranya. Some pious people saw that, collected the bones, perhaps from the amputated portion of the left foot, and preserved them in a box. Those biological relics of Sri Krishna's injured body remained in the box till it was brought to the attention of King Indradyumna, perhaps a descendant of older Indradyumna, who was directed by a divine vision to create the image or idol of Jagannath from a margusa or neem log that came west at the western coast of India at Puri in Kalinga kingdom and consecrate the bone relics of Krishna inside the belly of the idol. Incidentally, Krishna's daughter-in-law, the wife of Shamba, was great-granddaughter of Kalinga king as per Mahabharata. So this second king Indradyumna appointed Vishwakarma, the architect of gods, whose predecessor Vishwakarma of his older had earlier built the Dwarka city for Sri Krishna, to carve the murti of the deity from a log, and Vishwakarma accepted the commission on the condition that he could complete the work undisturbed and in private. Neem wood was chosen because the Bhavishya Purana declares it to be the most auspicious wood to make Vishnu murtis or idols. As per historians, the construction of the current Jagannath temple was initiated by the ruler of Kalinga, Anantavarman Chodaganga. Some portions of the temple were built during his reign between 11-12 century AD. However, it was only in the year 1174 AD that the Odia ruler Ananga Bhimadeva rebuilt the temple to give the shape in which it stands today. And the Natamandapa, the dance theatre, and Bhogamandapa, the dining hall, were constructed subsequently during the reign of Gajapati Purushottama Deva in 15th century and Prataparudra Deva in 16th century respectively. In typical temples of Odisha using the Kalinga style of architecture, the Jagamohana and Bhimana are key features of temples. The Bhimana is the tallest structure of the temple and is 7-storied. Reminiscent of Vimana flying machines of the Vedic gods, as well as the high-rise mobile buildings and palaces of epic era cities like Dwaraka and Lanka. Most probably the original Vimana portions were portable portions of the permanent structures which developed as a mode of quick transport if need be in epic Vedic era. Gajapati Purushottam Deva of Kalinga is famous for Kanchi conquest war with assistance of God Sri Krishna, Jagannath and Balaram. As per historical records, Gajapati Purushottam Deva's expedition towards Virupaksha Raya II's Kanchi Vijayanagar kingdom started in 1476 AD with Govinda Bhanja as commander-in-chief. That historical anecdote about the king of Puri conquering Kanchi kingdom with the direct military assistance of two brothers, Sri Krishna and Balarama in 15th century, strengthened the speculation that Sri Krishna and Balarama and their foster sister Subhadra were still alive as immortals even long after Dwarka deluge. Till date, there is no mention of any other military conquest in India. With the assistance of Sri Krishna, Jagannath of Puri, in the history of Odisha Kalinga or any other kingdom in entire history of Indian subcontinent after Dwarka deluge. These were some of the mysteries associated with Sri Krishna after Dwarka deluge. Now, to sum it up, the archaeological search for sunken city of Dwarka around Gujarat coast is based on this logic that if Vedavyasa was a real historical figure who divided Vedas into four and fathered Pandu and Dhritarashtra and Vidura of Mahabharata fame and was part of the events mentioned in the epic Mahabharata, then logically the golden city of Dwarka built by Shri Krishna did exist in reality in the near vicinity of Gujarat coast. Based on the same logic about historicity of Dwarka city of Sri Krishna, this author has developed the new hypothesis to locate the legendary sunken city of Dwarka in the vicinity of Prabhas Somnath Girnar Hills as per the Mahabharata as part of Anartha kingdom of Gujarat instead of generally presumed location at Bet Dwarka and Run of Kutch, which was under Sindhu kingdom territory during Mahabharata era. If Vedavyas existed, then logically the city of Dwarka and Shri Krishna and his contemporaries and elders too existed. If the Dwarka city existed, then indeed it sank as mentioned by Vedavyas in Mahabharata. And it took Arjuna long 7 months to rehabilitate the surviving evacuees of the Dwarka city after a futile fight with robbers and snatchers who took away much of the Dwarka's women and wealth en route to Indraprastha despite Arjuna's resistance. The city of Dwarka was said to be made of gold and precious jewels. So, if it is discovered by marine archaeologists by using modern technology along the coast of Prabhas Somnath, as hypothesized by this author, then not only the historicity of our epic inheritance of Mahabharata era history will be vindicated, but also many misconceptions spread by Western colonial Indologists about India's epic past will be dispelled with. And if the sunken golden city of Dwarka is found there, then the lost treasures of Dwarka city, including famous Samantaka jewel, which generated 8 pounds of gold per day, making Dwarka the fabled city of gold, perhaps could be found as proof of the Mahabharata narratives on the subject. Of course, there is a possibility that Sri Krishna might have shifted the said precious Samantaka jewel to a safe location after the deluge. Alternatively, it might also be possible that the complete sunken city of Golden Dwarka was deliberately taken submarine by Sri Krishna and Balarama, and in that case it might still be functioning as an abode for the time traveler Deva races and superhumans of ancient submarine people of Naga races. Incidentally, Pandava's mother and Sri Krishna's maternal aunt Kunti, as well as his father Vasudeva, belonged to Naga race from their maternal side, and Arjuna's wife Ulupi also belonged to Naga race that inhabited underground Ganga river, to where Ulupi had returned after Arjuna and his brothers took voluntary retirement and left Hastinapura, Indraprastha kingdom. The overground Indraprastha city of Pandavas is presently identified with the capital city of India known as Delhi NCR. Hope someday in near future, archaeologists and archaeological submarine research and excavation will settle once for all the issues regarding sunken Dwarka golden city of Sri Krishna, which this author on the basis of her hypothesis says must have existed near the coast of Prabhas Somnath in Gujarat during Mahabharata era before its submersion under sea. Anyway, the mystery of Dwarka still remains a great mystery of the unseen world. Thank you. Our next videos will be about mysteries of life, death, and soul, and transmigration, and many other interesting issues like that. Our next videos will be about mysteries of life, death, and soul, and transmigration, and many other interesting issues like that.